All right, y'all ready?
You go.
Tell me right now that it's not true, man. Don't tell me you sparred 3 dudes at the same time to get ready for Loma. Is that true or is that false, man? Seriously. Like, did you spar? Did you?
Yes. Yes, Luke.
Why?
It's all fun and games.
Why?
Why not?
It was
So
3.
what did you take out of that sparring session?
Just reacting quick at angles, provisional sight.
That's what you think that's how it is fighting against Loma? That's what you think? That's what you guys think? That's what you envision?
We did it once messing around, like after the session had finished. Bit of fun, that's all it was.
You have every advantage. Home field advantage, height, reach, good looks. Tell me, how are you going to beat Lomachenko?
By hitting him hard and often. I guess that's how you win fights. Obviously, he's ranked number 1 pound for pound for a reason. You know, I'm under no illusion that he's not like the best out there. But I've always said from being a kid, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And I love a challenge, and I rise to the occasion. And you're going to see the best of me.
You believe he's better than you?
No. I believe he might have certain qualities that are more than mine. That's without a doubt. You know, I'm not going to sit here now and say I'm better than him in every department because I've got my own skill set. But I never really compare myself to anybody. I always just try and be the best I can be.
How are you going through your mental reps? How are you dealing with the nerves? How are you just staying in a place where you're going into this fight not just confident, but just like with a strong belief? Because obviously a fight of this magnitude, it's going to be moments, right? He's going to have some moments, and then like your reaction and how you respond is going to be key. And this is like a statement and a question. Because what I've noticed is a lot of Loma opponents, from the neck up is the issue. They don't always believe. They have the, you know, all the stats. They have, you know, the 2 gold medals, all the stuff, world championships, and a lot of them are beat before they get in there. How are you right now in the biggest moment of your life, in your home country, O2 Arena, sold out? Like, how are you dealing with the pressure?
It's whatever pressure you want to put on yourself. You know, I've been in moments throughout my boxing career where I've had to, you know, go through difficult times, and it's the same applies. At the end of the day, when the bell rings, it's a fight. It's against Lomachenko, everyone's raving about, but to me, it's a fight, and I love breaking hearts.
This is your home turf, and you got a guy here that's getting more chance than you are.
Rightly deserved, really, from what he's achieved. You know, he's 3-weight world champion. So, you know, he deserves a hell of a lot of credit. And I'm not here to disrespect anyone.
Your people, you don't deserve that. This is your people here.
Listen, my people will want to see him fight, don't get me wrong. But I believe that they'll be rooting for the homeboy.
You've been working with Shane McGuigan for the 3rd fight now. Describe your progress and where you are now compared to when he first came on board.
I feel like it took me 4 years to get settled in the professional game. I didn't have the right teams around me, and I was more or less doing it on my own. And considering I was doing it on my own, I did a pretty good job for doing it on my own. But now I feel like I've got that solid team around me. Every box is ticked. I'm happy, I'm comfortable. We know the work we put in, and I just feel like now my career is going from strength to strength. I've always been a late bloomer. I've never been one of those guys that picks it up like that. But it might take me a little bit longer to pick it up, but when I pick it up, I've got it, and no one's taking it.
You don't think it's more about your schedule, the strength of schedule? Like you fought Linares, was a very tough world champion. You know, there's sometimes you catch a world champion that's kind of weaker and you're able to win a world title.
Yeah.
You had to fight Linares. Now you've got to fight Lomachenko. So do you think it's about late blooming, or do you just think it's also been the strength of schedule and you were always that good?
Yeah, possibly. You know, I'm as good as I guess the mentor teaching me. I believe I've got the best mentor teaching me. My sky's the limit for me. And also, if I have a coach there that's not so good, I also could probably learn mistakes quick and go down easy. But like I say, like finally now, I do feel like finally this last year I've had a solid team around me. I'm happy, things are going good, and now I just believe that my career now is going from strength to strength. And me today would whoop my ass 2 years ago when I fought Linares. Fact.
So this is the guy that needs to fight Lomachenko, the guy who was standing in front of us today.
What was the main focus in your camp?
To be better than I was yesterday.
That's it.
That's it. What else is it?
How do you envision this fight playing out? Not just the outcome, because I hope you see yourself winning.
Yeah.
You see yourself winning, right?
Of course.
Okay. How do you envision it playing out with the styles? You know, your attributes physically, his attributes. How do you envision this fight playing out?
I believe in this fight, I think you're going to see elements of everything really. I think you'll see elements of a very technical game of chess. I think you'll see elements of ruggedness, people, me pushing him back, him trying to push me back, me being on my back foot, me putting him on his back foot. I think you're going to see a bit of everything in this fight because you can't just be one-dimensional with this guy. You've got to mix it up constantly.
What's the fight that you studied that taught you the most?
To be honest with you, I don't really watch any of my opponents' previous fights. My coach Shane does that, and you know he comes up. You know that's what his eyes are good for. Seeing where we can do good and things to do, and then when we go in the gym, I just do what Shane tells me to do.
Luke, what about the amateurs? How much did you see of him during so many of the tournaments?
I first met him in 2003 in Russia, in the European Championship. So listen, I've known him for a long time. I've not just come to grasp how good he is right now. I've known him for a long time. When I first seen him, I was heavier than he was, and then he skipped a couple of weights and he was above me.
Did you tend to watch him and he watched you a bit, or not? Or you just went your different ways?
Do you know, it was always you're with your teams. You know, so it's always you by schedule when you go away, and you know when you're fighting, you see the schedule. So you'd only go to the venue if you weren't fighting. If just one of your friends in the team was fighting, just cheer him on. And if he was on at that same time, then you'd watch.
Did you ever think this day was going to come? Did you ever think you was going to meet Lomachenko?
I knew this day was going to come from when turning professional. I thought this day would come.
It's an opponent you thought that you would meet somewhere down the line?
Yeah.
I read somewhere you spoke to Salido. Is that true?
That's not true. Where'd you read that?
Read it on one of those.
Kind of notes.
Listen,
It's a good story though. I think you should run with it.
I can ask you how you are in Spanish, and if you want some food. But that's about it.
Do you know what Salido said? Come out and said, "This is how you beat her as well." He did it. Yeah,
Did
said,
it?
"This is how you
I ain't
beat
seen that.
Lomachenko."
Yeah, he did.
It's kind of impossible to not look at Linares as a common opponent, even though you're two different fighters.
Yeah.
But when you look at that fight and what you were able to do and how much you've changed and what Loma was able to do you take any stock in the fact that he beat the guy even though he got dropped that beat you?
Styles make fights. You know, to be honest with you, I did watch the Linares fight at that time, and from when Linares weighed in at that weight, I just thought he looked like a completely different fighter to when he weighed in against me. Like when he weighed in against me, he looked full. He looked like he had a glow in the face. And when I seen him on the scales when he fought Lomachenko, he looked like the lights was on but no one was in. He looked weight drained, and then he stopped moving his feet after 3 rounds. So I thought, you can take little bits from things, but he's orthodox. He had quick hands. He throws a lot of combinations.
When you look at the fighter you got 3 fights ago to the fighter he is now, what has been the biggest changes that you've seen?
His size. I've tried to sort of fill him into the lightweight division. I've always had guys like George Groves, who was huge for super middleweight, or Frampton, who was boiling himself down to the weight. And he come into the camp when he first started working with me. He was 143 pounds or something. I was like, he's way too light for a lightweight. He needed to sort of fill out and put a lot of size in his frame, and now he's done that, and he's stronger, he's punching harder, and we've worked a lot in close, because that short to mid range we've had to do a lot of work, because up until now he didn't freeze on the inside, but he just was uncomfortable there. So we've had sparring partners. Well, I got the light welterweight champion of the world, Josh Taylor, in the gym, and they've done maybe 100 rounds together for this camp, and we've had just constant pressure, walking him down, moving around at angles. And Luke might have said that we've had 3 sparring partners in at one time, but that was only to throw the press off. We were just winding people up. That's not been the case. No.
Where's it gone though? Everybody talks about it.
No. I said earlier, they asked the question, I said, I know you're a winder. He's a winder, he's got a dry sense of humour. And when you were saying it, I was
He'd done
going,
too many interviews that day.
I did too many interviews and started getting bored. But I'm going to come out with all sorts of shit.
Yeah, that's pretty funny because you had one last week that said he didn't spar, and then you come out and say he sparred 3 guys. I was like, what?
My last question, Coach, is just the mental aspect of it. Like, I feel like a fight like this, it's more mental than anything. You know, you got the hype, you got all the stuff. You guys have to believe it, you know, if nobody else does. What are you doing for Luke? Like, how do you affirm him in camp? How do you respect the opponent but also affirm him and instill in him the belief that, yo, he is who he is and we're going to respect that and get ready, but people don't know what you got inside of you. How do you do that? What's that balance?
Yeah, he's confident, he's happy, he's relaxed. And for me, you know, it's just reassuring him. If I don't believe it, if he goes into this fight, as you said, and I don't believe it, he'll pick that up. But I genuinely, with all my heart, when the lights go out at night time, I just visualize him getting the win.
And I'm saying that can be superficial. I'm not saying that it is. We've sat across many a fighter. You've been in the game a long time. People say a lot of things for a lot of different reasons. In camp, what mental reps have you taken? How do you affirm him and encourage him and let him know, like, yo, you belong? Do you? If you don't, you don't. But I'm saying, do you have those kind of discussions?
Yeah, we're always having discussions, and he sees a good sports psychologist as well. So he's bulletproof in the mind.
Sports psychologist.
Yeah, as well. So, and we got a real tight camp. We got George that's in here all the time. We got a load of my fighters always bouncing off each other, and we're a team.
And it's one of them as well. It's not just brought in a psychologist just for this fight. I've been working with one now for the past year. You know, so it's not nothing new to me. Like I say, not just brought in just for this fight, but we've had one there set in place and working up to moments like this.
What do you get from it?
I want to get inside my own head.
Yeah.
Some negative thoughts go inside my head. I tell you, come in, thanks, not needed, see ya. And you know, I'm in control of that. You know, that's the difference. You know, I like all these little challenges within myself. I see as little challenges that I'm the one in charge. I can break it. There's no doubts. There's nerves. You know, like I say, I'm human. I get nerves for every fight, whether it's a low caliber boxer or a high. I just feel the same all the time. It's just stepping in the ring, you know. But your man can only concentrate on one thing at a time. So when that bell goes, there's no nerves, and concentrate on who's in front of me.
Good.
Oh, good job, boy.